Upon waking up, Su-ran traveled to a world that blended all the heavens and realms, and at the same time, he was the only one who knew the secrets within all the heavens. Activate the treasure hunting system. Su-ran searches for treasures in all heavens and all realms. Water friends, have you seen this peculiar-looking fruit? It is the demon fruit from the One Piece King. This tall and slender woman with a snake-like body is Hankook, and she will appear on my bed soon. Don't underestimate this golden dragon pattern plate. In fact, he was a renowned ancient saint, but I removed 12 parts from his body. Have you seen these weird and disgusting masks? I have 10. Finally, this one is amazing, called the Encounter Demon King Driver. Felu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Monster Invasion. Treasure Hunting System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. An old and dilapidated small house in the suburbs of Jiangqing City. Although the overall floor is very dilapidated, the wooden houses built above the top floor are particularly new. Where am I? Su-ran suddenly stood up from the rudimentary bed, looking around with confusion in his eyes. I was still angry about the plot of Gertrude even the last second. As a result, he suddenly fell into a coma. Wait, shouldn't it be a time of travel? As a seasoned novel reader, Su-ran's first reaction was to travel, and the unfamiliar environment around him now is enough to prove all of this. The next moment, memories flooded into Su-ran's mind like a tide. This world, called Blue Star, is exactly the same as the Earth where he lived in his previous life, but its area is many times larger. But the original person, who has the same surname as himself, just graduated from college, does not want to return to his hometown to work, so he works as an anchor in Jiangqing, and his daily income is only able to survive. Last night, due to eating expired bread, I got food poisoning and gagged. Shake your head. These memories are too fragmented. Su-ran decided not to think about it anymore, but picked up the phone on the bedside table, intending to directly use the internet to learn all the information she wanted to know. But just after Su-ran entered the password to unlock the phone. Ding ding ding. A large amount of push information is starting to emerge. A large-scale missing person incident has occurred in Jiangqing, and the number of people has reached 10 so far, beautiful country openly admits. Previously, strange people in foreign videos actually existed. The person in charge of Jiangqing speaks and does not believe or spread rumors. The investigation organization has officially settled in Jiangqing, and it is bound to uncover the truth. Shocked. Strange people in this world, please residents, try not to go out at night. Looking at the push message on the phone screen, Su-ran's eyebrows couldn't help but furrow slightly. Strange people invading. Shouldn't it be the headline party? He often encountered such things before. Carrying disbelief and doubt. After circling through her mind, Su-ran immediately clicked on the search bar below. But I can't wait for Su-ran to input keywords. The internet is flooded with reports of monster invasions. Su-ran casually clicked into a web page, and the picture showed a burly humanoid creature in the darkness. Although the environment was extremely dim, a rough idea could still be seen. It's absolutely impossible to be human. Spider Afino. Is it difficult for all the reports to be true? Is the world really ushering in an era of monster invasion? Su-ran took a deep breath. As a tokusatsu enthusiast, it is impossible for him to admit his mistake. If this is really the case, doesn't it mean that one may also gain the power of a knight? After thinking of this, Su-ran was so excited that she almost jumped out of the bed. But soon, Su-ran immediately suppressed his inner shock and slid down the web page, preparing to gain a deeper understanding in the comment section. 68-year-old bald male god. I really don't know what else to hide about this, it's obvious at a glance. I guess it was to suppress this matter. After all, everyone is just ordinary people, said Qinfeng slowly, baby bus. Yes, but now that there are monsters appearing, there should also be heroes appearing, right? Love to eat crab roe buns. You're right upstairs, maybe the person who will become a hero in the future is me. So, people in this world don't understand tokusatsu. Su Ren glanced at the comment and murmured softly. Without any hesitation. Su Ren immediately exited this page and entered one night after another keyword in the search bar, but the results were all blank. There is no relevant information at all. It seems true, doesn't that mean that only me, a traveler from another world, knows all the information about tokusatsu? Su Ran's words already carried a very obvious excitement. This is my own advantage. It can be said that directly opening the god's perspective is completely like a walking encyclopedia. And now the invasion of monsters has just arrived, and even the knights have not appeared yet. Everything I know is blank in this world. What is advantage? This is the advantage. Moreover, in Su Ran's memory, whether it was the Yadamling stone belt or the OOO drive, they were all excavated from the ruins. This is a huge opportunity. Others may not know, but one can recognize at a glance whether it is a drive or not. In this way, I can also catch a leak in front of everyone. If I catch a big gold watch, wouldn't it be invincible? During speech, Su Ren immediately changed into a set of clothes for herself and prepared to go out to the nearby antique shop for a stroll. Perhaps occasionally, the European emperor would make her realize it. But just as Su Ren grabbed the doorknob with his right hand and was about to open the door and leave, an extremely cold mechanical sound suddenly sounded in Su Ran's ear. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully activating the Wanjia treasure hunting system. This system can detect all treasure hiding points within a radius of 5 kilometers from the host. Upgradable. Each detection requires a certain amount of popularity. The first detection requires 100 points of popularity. And so on. Note. The higher the rarity of the detected treasure, the higher the required popularity value. This system has treasure maps and treasure hunting radars that require a certain level of popularity. Note. Unlocking other functions also requires an equal amount of popularity. A virtual screen with a light blue light screen appeared in front of Su Ran. Su Ran simply glanced behind the screen and couldn't help but raise his hand to touch his chin. Popularity. The more people you watch, the more popularity you can get. It seems that it's the same as live streaming. And according to Su Ran's memory, I was originally an antique science popularization type anchor with 300 fans, and the number of viewers each time was at least nearly 100, which should be able to barely meet the requirements of the system's first treasure hunt. After pondering for a few seconds, Su Ran immediately sat back on the bed, took out her phone, clicked on the live streaming app, and set the title. Surprise. Strange people invade the insider broadcast. After setting. After Su Ran added a few hot word tags again and made some preparations in her heart, she confirmed that everything was ready and immediately started the live broadcast. In this way, you only need to wait for the number of people to reach a certain popularity value before you can officially start your treasure hunting journey. If you like it, please bookmark it. Thank you for investing in the data. Chapter 2. Popularity meets the standard, treasure hunting begins. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. A small yet incredibly tidy rental house. Su Ran placed the phone on the phone holder and waited quietly. It had been about 10 minutes since then, and there was still no movement. Am I being conservative? Or is it not enough of a headline party? Su Ran raised an eyebrow, which may be the biggest reason. Although you may be scolded, it doesn't matter anymore. You must quickly make your popularity reach 100 points. Moreover, since today is a workday, not many so-called fans have joined the live broadcast room. In thought, Su Ran immediately changed the title to Shocked. A young man unexpectedly awakened a mysterious power. I have read so many novels anyway. Most of those online authors are evil title enthusiasts, so I have learned some essence myself. However, the development of the matter was also as Su Ran had guessed. After completing the title change, within just 10 minutes, more than 400 viewers were attracted to this title. And it is constantly increasing upwards. According to this trend, I believe it only takes a little time to directly surpass 1,000 people. However, the system's prompt sound did not sound for a long time. Is it difficult because each stay time is not enough, so the system cannot determine if they have provided a certain level of popularity? There is really a possibility of this. Didn't I say I awakened some mysterious power on the Qingqing grassland? Let's take a look now. If that's true, I'll send you directly to today's hot topic. SpongeBob SquarePants. The big brother upstairs is a tycoon. One hot topic will cost about 10 carnivals, right? Brother, I am your brother who has been separated for many years. If it really doesn't work, you can just discount it to mean change anything, said the 68-year-old bald male god. Su Ran looked at these barrage comments without any intention of speaking. It's not that he doesn't know what to say, mainly because he doesn't have any drives on hand. The only thing he can do now is to procrastinate until the system successfully judges before making other decisions himself. Otherwise, if you speak rashly now, it will be extremely detrimental to yourself. Time flies by, and within 10 minutes, time has already slipped through my fingers. I have mental illness. No, Anchor. Didn't you say you wanted to evaluate us? Hurry up and start. Where are you doing this? Why are you playing dumb? I think the anchor is quite handsome, even sitting there is not bad, said the new century beauty girl, Little Sweet Potato Fairy. Finally, I have a sisters who understands me. This little brother is really handsome. He almost leaked electricity to me. 68-year-old bald male god. If you're naughty, can you use some positive energy? Well, I have a friend who wants to ask for your contact information. It's easy to say anything about money, said Qingfeng Su, delicious crab roe bun. You're undermining the market. What if the prices in the physical industry increase? Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war. Wait, where did you all go? Aren't we all attracted by the title? Everyone, don't forget the main story. Watching the number of bullet comments in the live broadcast room reach an extremely alarming level in an instant. The number of likes has even skyrocketed to 10,000. Leaving aside the rest for now, just this piece of data has already targeted many small anchors. Ding, congratulations on reaching the target of the host's popularity. Get 1,000 points of popularity. Reward. Beginner gift pack *1. Do you want to start it now? Open. Su Ran had almost no hesitation, and in a moment of thought, he made a choice immediately. Successfully opened. Congratulations to the host for receiving rewards. Jane Treasure Map *1. Level 1 Treasure Searching Radar *1, can detect accurate locations of treasures within 10 meters. Congratulations to the host for unlocking the mission. Treasure Hunt, Task Completion Condition. The host's first treasure hunt is successful. You will receive a mysterious reward of 1. Listening to mechanical sounds ringing in my ears one after another. A faint smile couldn't help but appear on Su Ran's face. With the system's rewards, one is bound to be able to successfully search for treasures. Even if it's not a night drive, you can definitely make your live broadcast room a little popular. Anything related to nights is bound to cause a huge uproar. Thinking so. After taking a sip of the mineral water on the table, Su Ran finally took a sip and said, "Water friends in the live broadcast room, I want to apologize to everyone. I am not an awakener, but I have a very terrifying ability. I have a relatively powerful ability, which is to pick up leaks. Anything related to monsters cannot escape my eyes. Of course, this is from my ancestors. As for more details, I won't say much. Follow the anchor's camera and take a look, you can know whether it is true or false. While speaking, Su-ran immediately took out the treasure map provided by the system, combined with his memory of the region, and began to determine the accurate location of the treasure trove. After all, this is the first live broadcast. In order to continuously gain more popularity in the future, Su-ran knew that his live broadcast must not make any mistakes. 68-year-old bald male god. Anchor, you're not just bragging and trying to use this to gain traffic for yourself, are you? We don't eat this kind of thing. The anchor is so good looking that you can easily get along well in any beauty zone, right? There's no need to do this, said the Qingqing Grassland sweet potato fairy. Little brother, choose subject 3, I can brush a Porsche. Qing Feng Su said, come on, we're here to see what abilities we have, not what subject 3 we're looking for. Anchor, could you give us a hearty message to show us? The barrage surged out like a tide. The number of online viewers in the live broadcast room has already reached 2,000. After spending 2 minutes, Su-ran finally determined the location on the treasure map, not far from herself, and it was also an antique shop that had been open for some years. Surprisingly so close, I hope you don't disappoint me. After taking a deep breath, Su-ran immediately reached out and picked up the phone on the stand. Everyone, the anchor has just used ancestral methods to determine the approximate location. Let's go and pick up the leak now. Don't worry, water enthusiasts. If the anchor dares to come up with this title, he will definitely not disappoint everyone. Let's go. Seeking Collection. Chapter 3. Antique Shop Picking Up Leaks, Yadamling Stone Waste. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After going out. Based on the treasure map in his hand, Su-ran walked all the way towards a more remote and even less populated urban area. Su-ran was not surprised by this either. Perhaps it is because in his opinion, only antique shops in this environment are authentic enough. Along the way. After about 20 minutes, the barrage in the live broadcast room was already deafening. One side is a female fan who is very determined to uphold Su-ran's appearance. The other side is clamoring for Su-ran to quickly provide evidence, otherwise they will go online to hang up his water friend. I simply scanned my eyes. Su-ran stepped out and stood in front of an antique shop whose sign had completely turned yellow, and even the door frame was covered in rust. Dear water enthusiasts, we have arrived. This is our destination this time, the Old Chen Antique Shop. I have a premonition that I will definitely find a big leak here. Su-ran patted her chest and spoke confidently. That look is like being 100% certain that there is something you want here. At this moment, the 2 words of the script appeared uncontrollably in the hearts of everyone in the live broadcast room. Anchor, are you treating each of us like fools? It's just such a rundown shop. Tell me what good things are inside. Rice and vegetable roll head. Let's just say that next time when we do a script, can we take a little dim sum? Even if you go to a more luxurious one, we won't doubt it so soon. By Do-gu. Nowadays, broadcasters are really using everything in order to make money. If there's really anything related to monsters in here, I'll stand upside down and eat shit, said the 68-year-old bald male god. Here's a screenshot, said the gentle breeze. If there's nothing inside, I'll report it once when I watch your live broadcast in the future, said the invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war. Brother, don't pay attention to them, we believe you. User. Qingqing Grassland, I am the most coquettish, tipping host. Porsche *1. Thank you for your support, thank you for your support. Su-ran raised his hand and gently pushed open the door of the antique shop in front of him. Our place is absolutely real, and there can be no script here. If you don't believe it, I can give you an address directly and come and take a look. And we've all reached this point. Don't you want to see what I can actually pick up? Listen to the words spoken by Su-ran. The water enthusiasts who were just clamoring to report in the live broadcast room immediately quieted down. Yeah, it's already been until now. If I don't even take a glance, would it make them look like fools from before? Then I'll give you a chance. I want to see what kind of flowers you can play with, said the 68-year-old bald male god invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war. Hee, this trick of deceiving children is so easy to talk about. It's really hilarious. New century beauty girl. If you keep chattering, be careful not to spray water on you. My mouth has already opened, said the gentle breeze love to eat crab pot. I said upstairs, can we have some backbone? My mouth is wide open, spray me here. Squeak. A biting sound of pushing and pulling sounded. After Sue Rand lifted her legs and crossed the threshold, sandalwood came towards her, refreshing her heart. The store has a small area, but it is filled with various antiques. Vases, porcelain bowls, and so on. The interior decoration is also antique, all decorated with redwood, and it is unknown whether it is true or not. Cough, cough, cough. Youngster, do you want to buy or sell? A slightly hoarse voice rang out from behind the counter, instantly redirecting Sue Rand's gaze back. The boss is an elderly man with a hint of Mediterranean in his mouth, holding a copper smoking gun and sucking it with a click, then spitting out thick white smoke. Ah, I'm here to buy it. I'll take a look and see if there's anything I like. After casually fooling Sue Rand, he immediately quietly activated the treasure hunting radar provided by the system. Drop drop drip, the radar began to operate, emitting a light noise. But Sue Rand tightly grasped the radar and began to wander around every corner of the store, even the restroom was not spared. To enable better detection by the radar. Time passed by bit, and 10 minutes passed silently again. The boss took a deep breath of his cigarette and said, I'm just talking about the younger generation. Do you really want to buy it or not? You've been hanging around here for so long, and there's really nothing you like. Let's go back. My family has a lunch break. Once this statement is made. Just as Sue Rand was about to answer, the radar in her hand suddenly beeped. Even though the voice was a bit harsh, Sue Rand's face was full of joy. Found it. Without any hesitation, Sue Rand immediately grabbed the radar tightly and stepped forward to an older cabinet, handing it out. As the distance approaches, the sound on the radar is also becoming louder and louder. So it can be concluded that what one wants must be here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found what I am looking for, and it will definitely impress you. However, because there are newspapers pasted on the cabinet, it is not possible to see what is stored inside. Sue Rand immediately turned to look in the direction of the counter and said, Boss, could you please open the cabinet? The things I want are inside. Ah, you guys are just troublesome. The boss walked slowly with a string of keys and deftly opened the lock. If you still haven't found it this time, then I really want you to go out, he said regarding the boss's words. Sue Rand didn't listen at all, because his gaze was fixed on the object stored in the center of the counter, with an excited glint in his eyes. As a seasoned tokusatsu chef, Sue Rand is confident and will never make a mistake. The patterns around and the original stone in the center, although in a petrified state, must be the thing in one's own memory. Kamen Rider, empty my transformation drive. Yadamling stone belt. Moreover, it is still a petrified atom stone belt, which means that if you buy it, you may be able to gain the power of emptiness through this belt. Kill two birds with one stone. Although already very excited in my heart. But Sue Rand, who knew the art of bargaining well, still suppressed all his emotions and casually raised his finger to his belt, saying, Boss, how do we sell this? Chapter 4. Bargaining expert, take 300 yuan directly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ah, this is. No, it was bought by my father's generation from a wrestler 15 years ago. At that time, it cost 400 yuan. You should know, the 500 yuan back then was very expensive, but I see you have a connection with this thing, maybe 150,000 yuan. What do you think? The boss took a puff on his cigarette and said calmly. And while speaking, there were even entanglements and various expressions on his face. It has to be said that this expression is really lifelike. Assuming the person coming is a slightly younger one, they might fall for it. Upon hearing these words, Su Ran pursed her lips and said, "Boss, can you take it down and give it to me? Of course, I can open the door to do business. Don't worry, it can't be fake." The boss patted his chest and immediately took off his belt, handing it to Su Ran. After purchasing, Su Ran gently brushed past her belt, feeling the texture and touch inside, and even pondering in her mind whether there was a better bargaining solution. Time passes by bit. The next moment, Su Ran's eyes couldn't help but brighten, and he returned the belt to the boss with a disdainful expression, saying, "Boss, your mud is still a bit wet. Isn't this something from last week? I don't want it anymore." "Oh my junior, I'll tell you the truth. It was indeed received from an old senior last week. If you sincerely want it, I'll give you 100,000 yuan. The boss spoke up repeatedly, trying to defend himself. It took him so long to get a leak, and he really didn't want to let it go. No, boss, you're not being honest, I don't want it anymore." "Oh, you gave me a price. How could anyone bargain without even saying, 'Turn around and leave'?" After hearing this sentence, Su Ran immediately stopped his steps, feeling secretly proud in his heart, but with a cold expression on his face. "Since you've said that, I think this object is quite exquisite. It's also good to take it back as a toy. 300 yuan, I'll take it." "What 300? The boss's body shook, and the cigarette gun in his mouth almost fell to the ground. "My cost price is more than 300. 1,000 yuan, you take it. 500. 900. You can't lose a penny. 400. No way. 205, if you want love, don't let me go." Su Ran waved his hand, turned around and left without any intention of stopping. Watching Su Ran really leave the store, the boss finally became anxious and quickly chased after him. "Pretty guy. Pretty guy. 300 yuan, here you are. 300 yuan. Boss, why are you doing this?" Su Ran chuckled and shook his head, took out 3 red banknotes from his wallet and handed them directly to the boss. He then took the Yadamling belt from the other person's hand and handed it over. "My heart is indescribable excitement. 300 yuan for a real drive. If it were in a previous life, a CSM wouldn't be at this price alone. 68-year-old bald male god. Isn't that right, Anchor? You wasted so much time and bought a fake from last week here. Your time is not worth it, our time is worth it. I skipped class to watch your live broadcast directly, and that's the result. There's no end between us. Qingfeng Su Lai. Anchor, you're really not doing this right. The title is so scary, but it just brought us to see you bargain for counterfeit products. I think the anchor is just deliberately playing tricks on us, trying to grab traffic. I'm the most crazy about flipping the garden. Yeah, who's so happy after buying a fake? It's just about wanting to spend the least amount of money and get the most traffic." At this moment, the number of people in Su Ran's live broadcast room has reached an unprecedented 4,000. After seeing Su Ran's actions, everyone began to vent their anger, mostly mocking. I wish I could just pass through the screen and teach Su Ran a hard lesson. Even those fans who were previously attracted due to their own appearance dare not say anything more at this moment. After all, this is public anger. They don't have the courage. If they are criticized, they won't be able to come over. However, Su Ran did not pay attention to this. Because at this moment, there is already a blue virtual screen emerging in front of him. Congratulations to the host for triggering achievement. Obtaining the first night drive. Reward. All knights adapt to their physique. Enhanced physical fitness, reward. All combat skills and consciousness corresponding to the knight. Congratulations to the host for triggering the mission and fusing the knight belt. After completing the task, you will receive a mysterious reward. Not only did the font appear, but even the sound of the system rang in Su Ran's ears. Listen to the sound in your ear. The joy in Su Ran's heart became even stronger, and he wished he could burst out laughing right now. All knights adapt to their physique, which is a good reward. Even the freeze driver, which requires the physical fitness of Afeino, will not have any impact on him. All specific usage conditions will be easily resolved here at Su Ran. Boss, I just like to collect these modern crafts from last week. If there are any more next time, please contact me. After leaving her phone number, Su Ran left with satisfaction, holding her belt. As for the popularity value, this time it's enough for him to use, but it really doesn't work. Next time, he will change his account. At least I have already achieved my goal this time. In the live broadcast room. After speaking Su Ran for a while, a strong doubt immediately replaced anger. 68-year-old bald male god. Well. Shouldn't the anchor really not know if this is fake, right? Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war. Yeah, excited like this, shouldn't there be a problem with the brain itself? Qingfeng Su Lai. I think it's very likely that any normal person would spend this unjustified money. Love to eat crab pot. I misunderstood the anchor. It turns out he's a fool. Holding a piece of junk makes me so happy, no doubt a fool. It's okay, only foolishness can trick you into going home. Invincible beauty. This sisters is right. Are you stupid? Would you like to be handsome and big? Amidst the discussions in the live broadcast room, Su Ran immediately put away the Yadamling shirt belt he had just obtained and was about to do a good job of popularizing science. Just listen to a piercing explosion. The rolling waves blew the doors of the store with a slight sound. The loud voice made Su Ran and the owner of the store immediately crouch on the ground. Chapter 5. All knights adapt to physical fitness, monsters attack. You are listening at Novel Full Audio. Boom. The deafening explosion echoed again, and even a hot wind could be felt blowing through the store door. Ding-ling-ling. Ding-ling-ling. The piercing alarm sounded inside the store, echoing within Su Ran's eardrums. Park Street, why is it all here? It's such a remote place. The boss didn't even collect the money on the table and immediately headed towards the back warehouse. In the live broadcast room. 68-year-old bald male god. I'll go, the anchor is so lucky that he can even meet strange people like this. Little sweet potato fairy. Anchor, run quickly, don't wait here, otherwise if a strange person comes in later, it will be too late. You're right, I haven't reconciled with you yet. Hurry up and leave. If you can't, just follow that boss. I'm curious about what the weirdo looks like. The anchor poked out his phone and took a glance, said Mr. Baido, are you crazy upstairs? You're just instigating me. You'll be held accountable then, said Qingfeng as he slowly approached. That's right, the anchor should run quickly. Live streaming is not important, what's important is to save your life, anchor. Su Ran looked down at the barrage of bullets popping up one after another in the live broadcast room, and a look of contemplation couldn't help but appear in his eyes. This is actually a great opportunity. Not only can I use this opportunity to correct my name, but I can also complete the system's tasks. Moreover, it can even boost the popularity, so there's no need to worry about popularity during the next live broadcast. Su Ran was rapidly thinking in his mind. This can no longer be described as killing 2 birds with 1 arrow, but as killing 3 birds with 1 arrow. There are no drawbacks at all. After thinking about this, without any hesitation, Su Ran immediately spoke up and said, "Dear water enthusiasts, the anchor will give you a detailed explanation next. No, it's to show you the use of this belt. As long as you have any objections to my title after reading it, I will pay you 10,000 yuan alone. But if the other way around, each of you can give me a carnival, okay? After all, picking up leaks still requires a certain amount of funding. And the predecessor didn't leave too much money for himself, so of course he had to do it himself. Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, God of War. Anchor, you really don't know how to repent. Are you still boasting at such times? You're also amazing. 68-year-old bald male god. You can't say that. The anchor is giving us benefits, I bet. I bet too. Although I think this is not good, it's too much to offer. I'll bet, said Qingfeng Su. Watching barrage after barrage in the live broadcast room. A faint smile couldn't help but appear on Su Ran's lips. Since that's the case, everyone should take good care of it. As the last sound of the character falls, Su Ran immediately raised his hand and pushed open the shop door in front of him, strode across the threshold and walked out. Boom! The violent explosion echoed again, causing Su Ran to raise his hand to block it. Next second, after Su Ran put down his hand, what caught his eye was a bat, Galangji, soaring in mid-air, and a spider, Afiino, destroying the streets together on the ground. The spider worships the heavens with boundless power. It seems that this is really destined. Su Ran's fingers gently caressed through the petrified atom stone, speaking softly. There is no fear at all. Oh my goodness, this strange person looks so scary, said Little Sweet Potato Fairy, 68-year-old bald male god. Of course the weirdo is scary. Do you think this is some pink hair dryer pig? Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, God of War. That's not right, Anchor. Why are you running out? Go back quickly. Looking at these two strange people, my legs and stomach are cramping. Various comments abound in the live broadcast room. It seems to have noticed Su Ran's appearance. Spider Afiino retracted her tentacles that had been inserted into a human body, causing it to immediately turn into gray-white gravel and scatter on the ground. After finishing all of this, whether it was the bat Galanki or the spider Afiino, they all approached Su Ran's side in unison. After all, on this street, now only Su Ran is left alive. So let you officially embark on my journey as knights. Su Ran moved her hand slightly, placed her phone beside her, raised her atom stone belt, and clasped it tightly onto her lower abdomen. If it were in the past, perhaps he really couldn't handle this drive. But now it's different. He is a knight who adapts to his physique. Buzz. As expected, after the Yadamling belt came into contact with Su Ran's lower abdomen, it seemed as if it had come to life and directly penetrated Su Ran's body. Ha! An indescribable pain emanated from within the body. Su Ran couldn't help but instinctively let out a muffled groan. This feeling is really a bit uncomfortable. Fortunately, there was no problem with the fusion of the belt, and just 10 seconds later, the pain had completely dissipated. Obviously, the integration has been completely completed. I'll go. I didn't read it wrong just now, did I? That belt just integrated directly into the host's body. You didn't read it wrong upstairs, because I also saw it. My dear mother, shouldn't this be true? I feel like it's true. Otherwise, why would the anchor dare to come out directly, and where did the belt go, said Qingqing Grassland, I'm the most coquettish. Either the anchor is right, or he's just a fool. How do I feel like I'm losing 10,000, said the 68-year-old bald male god, observe in secret, said the gentle breeze, invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, God of War. I was wrong, anchor. You should quickly change your belt out. My heart can't take it anymore, it's too stimulating. But everything in the live broadcast room. At this moment, Su Ran didn't even see it. After fixing his phone, he was completely facing away from the camera and staring straight at the two strange people walking forward. Having all the combat skills and consciousness of the 5 generations, wouldn't it be just inviting the god to fight directly? Su Ran let out a long breath of turbid air and touched both sides of her lower abdomen with both hands. Buzz! Amidst the dazzling halo surging, the Yadamling stone belt reappeared, but no longer in a petrified posture, full of metallic luster under the sun's illumination. Feeling the power surging out of it, Su Ran slowly raised her hands and then touched the sides of her belt again. She suddenly drank low and said, "Transform." Chapter 6. Please keep an eye on my transformation. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The young man's soft cheers echoed through the long street for a long time. Even the chaotic sound of explosions and the sound of sparks jumping were faintly overshadowed. Su Ran's gaze was fixed on the two strange people ahead. In the next moment, the milky white armor seemed to have grown from his flesh and blood, completely covering his body. On the black close-fitting combat suit, the milky white breastplate and wrist armor are both adorned with golden circles with ancient texts, and the false face on the head has small golden horns extending. Compound eyes are red in color. Kamen Rider Empty Me, beginner pose, appearing. Feeling the power far beyond ordinary people in her body, Su Ran was very satisfied in her heart. But this is just the beginning. After engaging in real combat, one must be able to advance to an all-around position. In thought, Su Ran let out a long breath of turbid air and walked straight towards the two strange people ahead with big strides. But just when he started taking action, the live broadcast room on the phone in the back exploded. Boiling to the extreme. 59-year-old sexy young woman. Sleeping slot, Superman. 68-year-old bald male god. Sleeping trough, should we make an appointment upstairs? Oh my goodness, Anchor, are you really here? Are you really going to transform in place? Magic isn't that outrageous, is it? I knew little brother would never deceive anyone. He's really Superman. Such a person must be very fierce, right? Said little sweet potato fairy. Damn it, the upper side upstairs is moaning. My heart is almost unbearable, it's really exciting. My day, why doesn't this person directly transform into a Chinese person? Oh my goodness, can this man be our savior? Said the man who flipped the garden. I must be crazy, Mom, I saw someone transform in front of me. With Su Ran's transformation being broadcasted in real time, the popularity in the live broadcast room skyrocketed. It's just a few minutes. The number of people is ready to exceed 10,000. And there is no trend to stop at all. At the same time, Su Ran suddenly quickened his pace and stepped forward, turning around and directly punching the Spider Afeino. The strong wind howled. Spider Afeino also threw a punch. Bang! The dull sound echoed, with invisible waves surging forward. A crimson halo emerged from Su Ran's wrist armor, causing his hands to completely turn crimson. Without any hesitation, Su Ran bent down and swept straight towards the lower abdomen of the Spider Afeino. Dong! The knee armor and leg armor instantly turned golden, with red accents on them. And the figure of Spider Afeino flew straight backwards like a broken kite. Carrying a fighting heart, Su Ran slowly lowered his figure and made a unique combat posture for himself. His chest armor turned red at a visible speed, and it was even thicker than before, full of an ancient sense of power. The tentacles of the head extend completely, like dragon horns. Kamen Rider Empty Me, almighty form. Sa, come and count your sins carefully. Bang! Su Ran stepped on the ground and jumped directly into mid-air, throwing his hands up and smashing it with all his might. Dong! Bat Galangji was caught off guard and had no time to dodge. He could only let Su Ran's fists hit him on the back. The strength was so great that with just a click, the bone on the back broke open. Amidst the howls of sorrow, Bat Galangji hit the ground straight, stirring up rolling dust. Su Ran shook his right hand and said, "Indeed, we still need to engage in practical combat to adapt to this force faster. If not, even with 5 generations of combat experience and skills, it is useless. Fighting is the ultimate way of growth." In thought, Su Ran bent down and picked up a branch on the ground, thinking of something long in his heart. The atom stone on his lower abdomen suddenly emitted a blue halo. After infinitely expanding, Su Ran's body was completely enveloped inside. Buzz. A soft sound surged like water waves. It was just an instant, and all the crimson armor on Su Ran's body turned into azure blue in an instant, even his compound eyes were the same. The branch tightly held in Su Ran's hand also extended and transformed into a long stick with super ancient characters. Green Dragon Stick. After completing the form switching, Su Ran waved the green dragon stick in his hand, picked up the colorful stick flowers, and successively bombarded the spider Afieno who was approaching, forcing him to retreat several steps. Even Su Ran's body couldn't be touched. In the live broadcast room, tears of envy streamed down the corners of my mouth. "It's so greedy, I even started fantasizing," said the 68-year-old bald male god Qinglian Sword Immortal. "Brother upstairs, I'm the same. It would be great if I were the one who transformed. It's amazing how it could have turned into something else. Who in this world doesn't want to be a hero?" "I also want to be a hero," said Mr. Nyo, "it seems like I'm going to marry him." "If that's the case, I'll also be the hero's wife," said Little Sweet Potato Fairy, "the thing he bought for 300 just now, right? I paid 3 million. Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. I didn't expect my brother to be a wealthy second generation. I'll give you 4 million. This is really something that can transform." At this moment, they really believe it, the anchor is really amazing. I spent 300 yuan to buy a thing that can transform me into a hero. Who would believe it if I said that? If the store owner had seen this scene just now, they would probably have cried and fainted. This is really something. Everyone in the live broadcast room was discussing fiercely, completely ignoring Su Ran's wishes and starting to bid directly. In just 1 minute, the price skyrocketed to 10 million. As long as they can become heroes, they are willing to pay any amount of money. However, that is when they are discussing. Su Ran handed out the green dragon stick in his hand with all his might and directly hit the spider Afieno, who was just about to get up, before once again flying it away. Who? At the next moment, a strong wind surged behind Su Ran. You don't even have to think about it to know that the one who will take action is undoubtedly Bat Galanki. Without any hesitation, Su Ran turned around and swung his long stick with all his might, sweeping across Bat Galangji's body while swinging the green dragon stick out of his hand. Da-da-da. The sound of hurried footsteps rang out. Su Ran stepped forward and broke the stainless steel railing on the roadside, immediately recalling what had been cut open. Switch the form again. Chapter 7. Explosive killing of monsters, shocking everyone. Seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Buzz. Su Ran's chest armor and wrist armor all turned into a seductive purple, and the piece of iron in his hand instantly turned into a heavy sword. Strands of cold light burst out from the Titan sword. Kamen Rider Empty Me, Titan form. Da-da-da. The sound of hurried footsteps suddenly sounded. When Su Ran raised his hand, Spider Afieno had already arrived in front of him, waving his right hand with all his might and bombarding Su Ran's chest armor. In the eyes of Spider Afieno, this tiny damn guy in front of me is bound to suffer serious injuries from this attack. But imagination is good, reality is incredibly bony. Su Ran's figure not only did not retreat, but also stood quietly in place, with a hint of suspicion, saying, "You didn't eat." Spider Afieno. Do not give it any chance to react. Su Ran swung the Titan's sword with one hand and raised it high, then fiercely swung it down, fully impacting the body of the spider Ophianor. Boom! Amidst the dull noise, Spider Ophiano's figure suddenly flew backwards like a broken kite, crashing onto the wall behind him, with half of his body completely embedded in it. Whoosh! Just finished solving one, and suddenly there was another piercing sound of breaking wind in the sky. Su Ran didn't even need to look up to know which Bat Galangji it was. The next moment, he slightly bent down, and his other hand also tightly grasped the handle of the Titan sword, thus accumulating strength. Hiss! At the same time as the hissing sound sounded, Su Ran immediately locked onto the fallen Bat Galangji, swung the Titan's sword in his hand, and slashed it horizontally from bottom to top, directly cutting off the latter's wings. Puzzle! Deep red blood splattered out. Su Ran had no intention of stopping, but waved the Titan's sword again, continuously gathering the sealing power into the sword body, causing a faint golden halo to cover the sword body. Death! The young man's soft whistling echoed. Su Ran handed out his sword blade with all his might and stabbed it into the chest of Bat Galangji, who was about to land. The massive sealing power was transmitted into the latter's body through the blade, making its surface even more adorned with ancient writing. ZZZZ. Boom. Bat Galangji's body suddenly exploded. A raging flame surged into the sky, scattering behind Su Ran in the strong wind, like a red cloak. So next is you. Bang dang. Su Ran casually discarded the Titan sword while immediately lowering his own figure. Just in an instant, both the compound eyes and the chest armor turned red. Versatile posture. At this moment, the popularity in the live broadcast room behind has once again reached a new high. Especially after seeing Su Ran's sword explode a monster, they exploded directly. 68-year-old bald male god. Oh my goodness, this is so pretentious, isn't it? Those who don't know thought it was a performance show. Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war. Upstairs, do you have it? If you have gained this power, probably I won't eat beef directly, right? I don't eat beef. I heard someone shouting my name. Little sweet potato fairy. Brother, you're so handsome. Ah. You really love me. I'm so scared. Do you need me to stir fry? My cooking skills are very good. Vulgar. If the anchor is willing to give me this thing to play with, I can buy my own oil, said Qingfeng Su Lai. I'm crazy about flipping the garden. You guys are really too vulgar. Is that all for just a belt? If the anchor is willing to play with me, I'm willing to do anything. At this moment, for the discussions and endless gift effects in the live broadcast room, Su Ran did not pay attention, but instead concentrated all the remaining sealing power inside his body into his right leg. Perhaps it was because of the immense power that even the ground beneath his feet became scorched black, with strands of white smoke rising up. ZZZZ. Looking at the scene before me, Spider Ophiano thought it was just an ordinary kick without even making any defense. If you can't defeat me this time, you won't have the strength, will you? The only one who wins will be me. The words fell. Su Ran took a deep breath and did not respond in any way. But after bending slightly, suddenly burst out of place. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed through the long street for a long time. A regular kick. What a joke. This is really great. After reaching a certain distance, Su Ran suddenly jumped into mid-air, made a kicking posture, and fell straight down. Until this moment, Spider Ophiano only realized the immense sealing power beneath Su Ran's feet, but it was impossible for him to leave. You're playing sneak attacks. Bang. Su Ran accurately kicked the Spider Ophiano on the chest, leaving a seal above that emitted terrifying waves. The latter's body flew straight backwards, shattering the wall and landing. Just as Spider Offino was about to get up again. The power of sealing suddenly came into play. Dong! Boom! A violent explosion sounded, and the flames boiled incessantly. But Su-ran turned around and stood still, without even taking a glance. Full of momentum. In the live broadcast room. After seeing this scene, many people took screenshots and saved them directly, and some even completed screen recording, preparing to upload them after the live broadcast. But more importantly, I was deeply shocked by this scene. I didn't read it wrong, did I? The anchor easily solved two strange people on his own. This is really 68-year-old bald male god. I thought it was fake until I slapped my house a few times and it called out, it was really real. Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex, god of war. When monsters appeared before, a large number of fighters had to be dispatched every time, and even many died before they could barely be eliminated. But the anchor killed two of them alone. The one upstairs overlooked a key point: the anchor wasn't even injured, and judging from his effortless demeanor, this power is outrageous. Perhaps this is the hope to rewrite the entire situation. If only it could be given to me, said Love Crab Pot Qingfeng Su Lai. Just one person can defeat two monsters without paying any price. The anchor is really going to be popular this time. Isn't it just fire? Maybe the entire Jiangqing will be shaken by it, said the little sweet potato fairy. Chapter 8. Storm surges, high-rise vibrations. Seeking. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The raging flames surged endlessly. Su-ran took a deep breath, turned his head to look at the store behind him, and then walked step by step towards the position where he had his phone. Just haven't even waited for Su-ran to approach yet. The door of the store suddenly opened. The shop owner poked his head out with a smoking gun in his mouth, confirmed that there were no strange people, and finally walked out. I said, little brother, the belt you're wearing on your waist is the one I sold you for 300 just now. Buzz. Su-ran's body had a halo surging and then he withdrew, and both the armor and belt disappeared in an instant. Yes, the boss probably wants to go back on his word, right? As she spoke, Su-ran reached out and picked up her phone. This business is like marrying a girl, and the water spilled cannot be retrieved. Of course I know that, the boss snapped his cigarette and a strange expression flashed in his eyes. How about this? I'll spend 3 million to buy this belt back. Do you think it's okay? The words fell. The boss immediately set aside his smoking gun and took out a soft pack from his pocket, stuffing it into Su-ran's hand. Later on, if you think the price is not good, even a higher one is not without problems, he said regarding this. Su-ran couldn't help but chuckle and say, boss, I'll tell you the truth about this. Once I wear it, unless you peel me off, I won't be able to take it out. And I found the belt from you, right? Don't you understand the celebrity effect? In the future, there will only be more people coming to your store, and you still have to thank me well. Listen to the words spoken by Su-ran. The boss's face suddenly showed a look of contemplation, and then nodded secretly. It seems that that's indeed a truth. Seeing the other person's expression, Su-ran immediately took advantage of the heat and spoke up again, so you're just thanking me with a bag of soft drinks. It's too insincere. In a moment, I'll talk to the people in the live broadcast room about this matter, but are you saying good or bad things? Okay, I'll go get 2 more bags now. No need, boss. I don't smoke normally either. Can you just give me a discount of 500 yuan? Okay, I'll trouble you this time. After a conversation. Su-ran left here with a satisfied heart, carrying 500 yuan. Until he left completely. The boss gradually regained his senses and said, no, why did I give him money? This way, not only did he get his belt without spending a penny, but he also made me a net profit of 200. Ding, detected an increase in the number of viewers and popularity in the live broadcast room. Obtained popularity value. 5,000 points. Listen to the system sound in your ear. The smile on Su Ran's face couldn't help but become a bit stronger again. It's really a good deal. If it weren't for just realizing that many people wanted to come and watch, he would definitely have to knock on that boss again. But earning 200 plus a real Adam Stone belt this time, Su Ran has already made a fortune. 68-year-old bald male god. Anchor, I have never begged anyone else in my life. Can you change again? I'm itching all over, and if I don't look, I'll die. My roommate had cancer and wanted to see him again before he died, said Wu Yanzu from Jiangqing Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex God of War. Brother, no, adoptive father. I'll give you 50 million, will you sell it to me? Little sweet potato fairy. Little brother, I can accompany you for as long as possible. You can play whatever you want, just let me touch it, okay? Love to eat crab pot. Can you have some positive energy? Can you connect with me, Anchor? I'll give you a few. Qing Feng Su Lai. Anchor, please make another one for us. If it really doesn't work, you can take us to pick up the leak again. I have already boarded the plane to Fujiangqing now, the Anchor is waiting for me. Jiangqing Qing Chun, a female high school student, said, oh, it's so tender. I've already inferred where the Anchor is right now from his position. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Bring me a brother, I also want to pick up leaks with the Anchor. Su Ran couldn't help but shudder as he watched the barrage in the live broadcast room. These guys are really crazy to the extreme. If they really find it, I estimate that I will be directly pressed to the ground and stripped naked by more than 10 big men, right? Ladies and gentlemen, don't be so anxious. I remember that the gas at home hasn't been turned off yet, so that's all for today's live broadcast. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we will start the live broadcast on time. As the last sound falls. Without any hesitation, Su Ran immediately raised her hand and closed her live broadcast room. The accompanying page shows that just this live broadcast, Su Ran has gained 30,000 followers. Moreover, the total amount of gifts given alone has already reached tens of thousands. TSK, live streaming is really profitable. No wonder so many offline workers are starting to do live streaming. Su Ran shook her head secretly, then immediately quickened her pace and walked towards her home. The live broadcast has stopped, but the impact caused by Su Ran's current live broadcast is still expanding, and the speed of its soaring popularity is difficult to capture with the naked eye. Su Ran's live streaming recordings and screenshots have appeared on major web pages and Douyin. It's just half an hour. Su Ran's personal fans have already exceeded 100,000 and are constantly increasing. Jiangqing TAC Headquarters. TAC. It is an emergency response organization formed by the combination of armed forces and other combat departments after the invasion of monsters. Every time a monster appears, it is handled by TAC's fighters. At this moment, the monitoring room located at TAC headquarters. The surveillance videos played on several huge screens were prominently retrieved from the surveillance footage outside the antique shop. I have confirmed that there are no traces of special processing, and it is not synthesized by Photoshop. It is a real video that occurred. And our people have also gone to the scene to investigate, and indeed there has been a fight. Some fragments of the dead monster can also be found. Listen to the feedback from the staff around you. After flipping through the report in his hand for a few seconds, Zhang Wei's face gradually became solemn. Since we have confirmed its authenticity, let's report it directly. First, there was a strange invasion, and now there is a terrifying power that humans possess. This kind of thing is no longer something we can make a decision on, it has to be decided by the big shots above. If someone with such terrifying power could be used by them, perhaps they could strangle every strange person that appeared at the fastest speed. Give Jiangqing a certain amount of peaceful days. At present, it's up to the big shots above us to make what kind of decisions. Chapter 9. Second live broadcast, soaring popularity. You are listening at novel full. Audio. Jiangqing. The high-rise conference room on the top floor of TAC headquarters building. The screen in the conference room played back and forth videos captured from surveillance equipment. After special treatment, it is extremely clear. Even the content in the live broadcast room placed on the back phone can be seen. There are only 4 people in the field, with an average age of around 40 years old. One of them is wearing Yuan clothes and has gray hair. This person is Zhao Guangming, the combat leader of the entire Jiangqing TAC. It wasn't until 10 minutes later that the video finally finished playing. At this moment, there was still silence in the room, and they had no intention of speaking at all. Mainly because the shock caused by the video in front of them was too great, like a tsunami completely engulfing them. So much so that even breathing couldn't help but become rapid. TAC has been established for 5 months now, and it is still the first time they have seen that strange people can be so easily solved. And with the power of one person, we were able to defeat the 2 monsters. If this were handled by TAC in the past, sending out 20 people would at least result in a loss of half. This is still the best result. There have also been examples of a complete military downfall. It is also because of this that they were shocked to this extent. After a few seconds, Zhao Guangming, who was sitting at the top, finally exhaled a long breath of turbid air, completely suppressing the shock in his heart. He slowly spoke up and said, "It seems that while God has given us disaster, He has also given us a solution. The force in the video is our hope, perhaps to eliminate the monsters in Yan's country, and perhaps even elevate our position in the international arena." This sentence is not unfounded. After all, it's not just Yan Guo who has been plagued by strange people. All countries in the world are like this. Those with strong national strength are not bad, while others who are relatively weak are basically on the verge of being tormented crazy by the word monster. The words fell. As a conservative, Lu Sui pursed his lips and expressed his concerns, so it indicates that the invasion of the world is not just about monsters, but also about such power. Imagine what would happen if an ordinary person suddenly gained immense power overnight. So we need to immediately gather the holders of this power and join us. As long as we educate them, they can be used by us, Zhao Guangming interrupted directly. The atmosphere in the venue gradually became somewhat subtle. Upon hearing this, Lu Sui took a sip of water and spoke in a deep voice again, "But are they willing to be educated by us? Have you considered this issue, Officer Zhao? Even if you are willing to join us, what should we do if we make an outrageous request?" Once this statement is made, Zhao Guangming suppressed his inner anger and waved his hand, saying, "If Professor Lu can come up with a better plan, of course I will raise my hands in favor, but if not, I will still maintain my previous thoughts and win over this young man." For the argument between 2 people. The other 2 had no intention of saying anything. After all, this is not something they can stop, and what Zhao Guangming and Lu Sui each said has a certain truth. So the wisest choice at present is to wait and see what happens. Let's take a look at the follow-up before deciding whether to take action. This is the best method now. And this discussion has come to an end. The next morning, on the narrow bed, Su Ran slowly opened his eyes. No bedridden. He immediately got up from the bed to wash up, and after eating some simple breakfast, he immediately took out his phone. Nowadays, the popularity value is still too low, at most it only supports me after a few lucky draws, and it's gone. So we still need to continue live streaming during speech. Su Ran had already completed all the preparation work. After placing the phone on the stand, she bent her finger and lightly touched the button for Start Live. The title is as simple and clear as yesterday. Surprise. Yesterday's mysterious hero's self-monologue at an antique shop. The live broadcast just started in 5 minutes, and suddenly there was a large influx of viewers. The number of people jumped directly from 0 to 5,000. You should know that it's still 9 a.m. and it's still a workday. With such speed and number, it has already surpassed many big anchors. 68-year-old bald male god. I didn't sleep all night last night, anchor. Can we watch it again today? Last night, I tasted la fight all night. Even a famous model dancing in front of me couldn't let me sink. My mind was filled with images of the anchor transforming. Wipe, are you pretending to be forced upstairs? Don't bother with him, anchor. We agreed yesterday, let's change it again today and show it to me, said Ching Feng Su little sweet potato fairy. Why didn't my brother reply to their private message last night? I can only use small toys. Since the anchor has started broadcasting, let's start right away and don't wait any longer, said the most crazy person, love to eat crab pot. Brave Bau. My godfather, wait for me. Jiangqing Wu Yanzu. We're almost 7,000 people already, adoptive father, let's start. Su Ran watched as various gifts and barrage appeared, with a faint smile on her face. You all begged me so much. If it doesn't change, it's my fault. So let me fulfill your simple wish, she said. The words fell. Su Ran immediately stood up, feeling a sense of satisfaction in his heart. I have to say, the feeling of being praised like this is really exhilarating. Not only can you pretend to be cool, but you also have money to take. TSK TSK TSK. In thought, Su Ran slightly lowered her figure, slowly raised her arms, and suddenly slapped her waist on both sides. Buzz. The Yadamling belt slowly appeared solid, and there was a dazzling golden halo surging inside the central linkshire. Everyone has a good view, my transformation belongs to me. Su Ran let out a low growl and slapped his palm on both sides of his belt, then suddenly whispered, transform. Buzzing. The invisible force flipped open from within the atom stone and spread all over Su Ran's body, and the crimson armor immediately covered his body. Along with his compound eyes, they all turned extremely red. Kamen Rider empty me, almighty pose, join. If it weren't for the constraints, Su Ran actually had more ways to transform. Last night, he practiced all night. Chapter 10. Sexy Su Ran, online puzzle solving, this is not. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After seeing Su Ran transform again, the entire live broadcast room was boiling again. The number of online viewers in the live broadcast room has skyrocketed to a whopping 10,000 in just a short moment. 68-year-old bald male god. Handsome, so handsome. I almost crushed a bird's egg. 58-year-old sexy young woman. This. Is this magic, right? How could it really transform like this? After seeing the screen recording yesterday, I have checked it with various software, and this is true. There are no other traces, said Wu Yanzu from Jiangqing, invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war. My adoptive father, bully. I wonder if my adoptive father is willing to play with me for a while. Just call a foster father and you can play with it. Foster father. I'm here. Do you still want to be shameless? This is clearly my adoptive father. Oh, you're all fake. I called my adoptive father yesterday. Su Ran looked at the barrage in the live broadcast room and waved his hand, saying, if possible, the anchor is certainly willing to give you some play, but this belt has a certain degree of uniqueness. Once it enters my body, it cannot be taken out again. If you are interested, let's take a walk with the gifts in the live broadcast room. The anchor can tell you some things about this belt, and the weirdo Su Ran's words were just falling. The live broadcast room, which was originally full of bullet comments, suddenly fell into a state of stagnation. Next second. Various gift tips gushed out like a gusher. User. Qingfeng Shulai, gift anchor Chuanyun Arrow *99. User. Invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex as a gift to anchor Porsche *20. User. Jiangqing Wu Yanzu gifts anchor Carnival *30. User. Zhang Wei gives anchor Carnival *55. At the same time. Within TAC's internal base. Zhang Wei looked at the gift he gave as a reward and couldn't help but feel a pang of pain. This is his salary for several months. Although as the leader of the TAC team, I have a lot of subsidies, I can't withstand such a situation. Captain, do you think what this guy is saying is true? Judging from his age, he probably just graduated from college. At this age, I only knew which foot massage shop had the best treatment options. The staff raised their hand and scratched their head, then slowly spoke up. Once this statement is made. Zhang Wei took a deep breath and shook his head helplessly, saying, now we have too little information about the strange people, and the means of balancing them are better than nothing. Now this Su Ran is the first person to master the mysterious power, and I watched his live broadcast replay yesterday. It seems that he is very clear about this type of thing. So whether it's true or false, listening to it ultimately has no harm if you have to say the downside, it's just that your meager salary is even more meager. Renting the house. Su Ran picked up the tea cup on the table and took a light sip. This look is like an ancient storyteller. Cough, cough. Su Ran coughed twice, glanced at the number of gifts in the live broadcast room, and said calmly, since everyone is so enthusiastic, let's talk a little bit. During speech. Su Ran pointed to her lower abdomen and said, the belt I currently have is called the Atomstone belt. This belt was discovered and created by a race in ancient times who did not like to fight. At first, their race was threatened by another race, so someone wore this belt to fight. However, because they did not have the concept of killing themselves, they only sealed that race. Furthermore, regarding the belt itself, it can embody a person's wishes, which is the fundamental reason why the anchor can change its form. Of course, there is a more important point, unless the user loses the belief in battle, the belt will fall off on its own and cannot be detached from the shapeshifter, there's no way to strip it off. It's okay then, adoptive father. Just summon it and let me touch it, said the 68-year-old bald male god. You're really a clever little ghost, said Wu Yanzu from Jiangqing invincible Tyrannosaurus Rex god of war. Can I touch it first, adoptive father? I am willing to do anything, no matter what. However, what I am curious about is that there is no record in the history of any country of which race the so-called sealed other race is. I'm also curious about how the anchor knows about these things, said Zhang Wei while drinking tea. Su Ran glanced at the barrage in the live broadcast room, with a faint smile on his face. Of course, there is no record of the history of various countries, and it is said to be super ancient. As for why I know, of course, it is passed down from our ancestors. However, this water enthusiast named Magical Girl asked very well. This sealed race is the bat monster you saw yesterday. They have a unified name, to be precise, the name of their race is called Galanki Bang. Su Ran placed the tea cup in her hand on the table, with a hint of nostalgia in her eyes, and then sorted it out in her mind. Finally, it was time to speak again. The Galanki is an extremely large number of races with strict order, even stricter than that of the Indo side. However, their rules are very simple, which is to kill. Each Galanki has its own way of killing. The only way for them to advance to their level is to play their own killing game. Once the number of kills reaches the qualification line, they can advance. If they want to continue advancing, they can only continue to kill, but you don't have to worry, Galangji is just recovering now. As long as there is enough time, it can still be controlled. Within TAC's internal base. After learning such a piece of information, Zhang Wei was completely numb. Originally, he only listened with a curious attitude, after all, he was just a teenager no matter what. Moreover, so many well-known professors here have been studying here for so long, but they have not been able to come up with a specific solution. As a result, a teenager. In an extremely rudimentary live broadcast room, speaking extremely seriously. If those professors were to find out about this, wouldn't they be directly furious and stuck in place? Maybe it's also possible to run to find Su Ran and work hard. The most crucial thing is, as Su Ran said, this Galanki was actually a complete civilization in ancient times. Even in all aspects, it has developed extremely completely. This is no longer something I can handle. Report it to Chief Xiao immediately. Seeking evaluation tickets for collecting flowers.